What is good, guys? I'm joined today by the Wailers. Guys, how are we today?
We're doing fabulous, man.
And cold.
England, we always wanted to come back. The last time we was here was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very happy to be back. Right, Dreadie?
Yes, although it's still cold.
Got the Manchester chilled straight to the bone.
Straight to the bone, man. See that stuff?
Yeah.
I feel this cold in my bones, but I love it.
People here are nice, man. We always love Manchester, so we're happy to be here.
For sure, bro. And the UK as well. I mean, it's such a... For years and years and years, it's been such a hotbed for reggae. You know, Bob Marley himself, he lived here, didn't he, a few decades ago?
Yeah, 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he and my father and Carlton, they lived here the whole time, and then they did the Exodus album, which is the album of the century. It was recorded here. So it's amazing. We always have the connection.
So when you guys are out here performing as the Wailers and creating your recent album, is there a lot of pressure that comes with representing Bob Marley, you know, and bringing that forward into the modern day?
There is a lot of pressure, and the pressure is right. And it's only right for us to be pressured into that because Bob Marley and the Wailers made album of the century here. It's amazing. Bob Marley is not a normal person. He is a God-centered person. He came down here for a reason, to do what he needed to do so he can bring all of us together and to have a better mind and a better thinking, to be open-minded differently as well. And my father and Carlton were voluntarily chosen to do this work, the drum and the bass, that dominant sound. It's like, even if you don't hear Bob singing, you could still understand the message, what he's saying, by just the drum and the bass. Right now, we have a new lead singer. His name is Mitchell. Yeah, he's very, 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 very top vocalist. He was also on The Voice, you know, so we feel really good. Mitchell! Come here, man. Come here, my brother. No, you didn't interrupt.
The man just called
I just called your name, man. No.
We got a later over.
No. Mitchell is an angel.
Yeah, speak of the angel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff. And the funniest thing, how I learned about Mitchell was one of my friends sent me a video. And I said, oh, and he sang Redemption song. And I was like, yo, in bad. And I showed my father. And I said, yo, yeah. Daddy said, oh, wicked. When I met Mitchell now, we was doing a show in Holland. And then some lady came and said, we want to have someone, we would like to see if someone can come on stage and jam with us. So I said, all right, no problem. And they said, from The Voice. So I said, from The Voice? So I said, all right. I wasn't even thinking too much. So when he came on stage, I said, him look kind of familiar. So after the show, I was walking by and we met and I was talking to him and I said, wait, you're the guy from The Voice? He said, yes. And that's when we connected and we had numbers and, we spoke and he sent me some music.
How long have you been in the band for then?
Well, let's see. They asked me like right in front of the pandemic. It's just when the pandemic started. Come over in January, we start work. I was like, yeah. And then the pandemic happened.
That must have been the worst. You've just got this mad opportunity. You're ready to go play with the Wailers. And then all of a sudden COVID happens.
Yeah. And the thing that kind of like was a relief is that nobody was working. And they stayed in touch with me. So they gave me the confidence that, once we start working again, be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, they called me, like the beginning of the year, they called me like, we need your passport. I'm like, my passport? Yeah, you want to be a singer with us, right? And I'm like, yeah. So the first show I did was New Year's this year, 2022.
Where was that?
Punta Cana in Dominican Republic.
Private show.
Yeah, private show.
Really?
Yeah, and then the day after, straight to Miami and do another show for all of their friends and family.
Yeah. And then to Hawaii.
And then to Hawaii, and now here.
So it must have been quite nerve-wracking performing in front of the family. Because you need... Pardon?
I crashed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I crashed. It was the pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure because...
Stay on the road, man.
But it's a process. It's a process. You go through the process. Because you imagine flying out to a country where you're going to play with a name with the Wailers. You don't know anybody of the Wailers. I mean, I seen Aston once, but the rest of the band I didn't know. I didn't even know the crew. I didn't know anything.
You got something to prove as well.
You know, there's a pressure on you.
You're going to be the voice of Bob Marley, you know?
Well, you're going to be a singer in an iconic band.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so, and you're going to sing iconic songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that have stood there before you, they all lived up to it. So now you have it.
And the next phase is touring this great album, because obviously it came out in 2020. So you've not really had the opportunity to tour the UK with it yet, have you?
No. So this is the first time we're touring with it. So the thing about the album now is what you were saying about the pressure. So my father always been trying to do a Wailers album for years. You know, after Bob passed, he was doing other Wailers albums with at the time he had Junior Marvin, who was the lead singer at the time. And he said he wasn't fully 100% happy because the music was good, but the lyrics and these things that they were coming up with was good, but it didn't have that same effect because Bob is a different...
He's a poet, you know?
He's different, and how he was able to execute. So even though we evolve, I still have to make sure it still have that foundation. Because that's why, you know, when they say you honor your parents and you go higher, I honor my mother and my father. And that's why I was able to go to the next level, because anything I do in my life, I put my father and my uncle as in the music part of it, as the head, other than God, because, you know, God is number one. That's why the music is this way. So now when we did this album, we were blessed to get, a great producer, Emilio Estefan, because my father said he and Bob wanted Quincy Jones, and they couldn't get Quincy. So we got Emilio, and then Emilio came with some new ideas. And first I was like, well, okay, this is kind of different.
It's a little bit reggaeton, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then when I went to my father said, have an open mind. Because he said, remember, Bob and I always went up with a time, but we still kept our roots. He said, how you think we came up with songs like Could You Be Love? He said that was the song at the time. But he said that the difference is in the 70s, everybody was experimenting. Everyone had their own sound. Nowadays, everybody kind of sound alike, so you don't know who is who.
Your dad, Aston Sr., he recently got awarded an incredible honor in Jamaica, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
What was it called? The award, it was
like a life achievement award.
Yeah. Contributions to reggae music.
Yes, yes.
That must have been great to see him get that recognition.
It was due. It was past due.
Yeah.
Because a lot of great musicians in Jamaica said my father started them out. Gregory Isaac, his first hit was my father, song called Lonely Lover. Yeah.
Dennis Brown, first album, that No Man Is an Island album, that's all Family Man. And early John Holt, early Alton Ellis.
By me and
Yeah.
by you.
Oh, man.
So why is he called Family Man? Because I've heard you've got quite a few siblings.
He was a family man really before he had lots of children. He has that, I don't know if, you know, I believe in past life. You know, you was here before and you come back. The reason why I believe in it, because I believe in it. That's just my belief. And I feel that he was like a chief back in his day. He has this energy of a chief since he was young growing up. Many people are called and few are chosen. It doesn't matter how old you are. Some people just born a certain way. And he was born like that. And he always loved to give and help. He loves children. He loved to see people smile. My father back in the days when he started, you know, Bob them started to make some money and stuff, he used to have like 40,000 US in his bag and just go to Jamaica and give to the poor.
Really?
So
wow.
Bob and my father, they made a vow and saying that we're going to change the world and we're going to spread our seeds all over the world. And that's the way how they were going to make peace in the world. So they wanted to spread their seeds in all generation, all race. So I have brothers and sisters almost every race because the way how we're born, I'm born differently. I don't see color in different things. It's there, but I don't see it because that's how we were born. That's why Bob them. But, you know, in Jamaica and Rasta, we represent Africa, which is Ethiopia. You know what I mean? Because that is what we say, Rasta. But it's just the way of His Majesty, how His Majesty live.
So let's take it back to the album, because we were talking earlier about pressures and stuff, and how, you know, there's a certain level of expectation for it to have that authentic trademark sound of, you know, Bob Marley. However, with this new album, you've added quite a bit to it. You've almost evolved the sound to bring it to 2022. If you think of like track one, One World, One Prayer.
Yes.
That one for me is such a great way to start the album, because, you know, you've got some of his own kids on, and also the melody. It's very like One Love.
One Love, you know what One Love represent. But in this time, we wrote the song before the pandemic. Actually, Emilio was the one who came with the song and came with the idea, and then we reggaeified it. And he said, one world, which is the whole world. One prayer means every religion. I mean, all of us are one, and we come together, you know, and we just find a way how to live in unity, because it's easy to be bad. It's easy to think bad and negative. But you see, when you do good, sometimes you get pressure, but the reward is always better. And then it feels good. I like to see people smile.
Because when Rastafarianism first came about, and when it started to get really popular in the 60s, it was very sort of anti-establishment. It was very counterculture.
Yeah.
Whereas now, would you say that with what you were saying about, was it Stand with Babylon, did you say? Or
yeah, just stand firm.
Stand firm.
Not stand with them, you know.
Yeah.
Stand firm in it. And just...
You got to play the system.
Yeah, and just look. You stand firm in it and look for the ones them that are actually making sense. You know? Because in every system you have corruption. So you want to encourage the ones them that actually are looking out for the people. For their people and for the people and the people of the world. Because look at us, we're Jamaicans, but obviously Wailers, we're looking out for everyone in the world. That's why we travel. You know how much offers we get? Oh, you can make a lot of money for just doing 3 shows and you don't have to tour anymore. We're like, okay, that's fine. But no, we are for the people. We have to tour. We have to go to the places so people can feel the music and save more lives differently. So we can't just say, oh, we don't tour too much. Make the money. No, I came on the road. I've been working with my father, and I saw my father working in his 60s and his 70s. Every day, do 5 shows a week. No complaining. I saw a couple members in the band. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, you're working me like a slave. I see my father, who's the oldest. No complaining. Just love the music and standing firm. So who am I to complain? Oh, this is too long. No. You can't complain. You have to do the music and feel nice. And that's why I love this band. The band members, everyone here wants to work. It doesn't matter if they make enough to survive for how many months. They want to work because they believe in the same thing, you know? So, yeah.
Do you think that there's a lot that people can learn about the lifestyle to like live by the lifestyle, even if they're not Rastafarian, because there's so many incredible things within the religion? Say, for example, self-sustainability, eating good food, and there's so many different, rules they live by that people could apply to their own lives to live better.
We try to live the way as His Majesty. That's what Rasta was saying. If you look at His Majesty, how His Majesty live, he treats his woman highly, the queen. So men that treat their woman highly, that is what we represent too, we're not just dominant and say, oh, no, the woman. Yeah, once they understand their order, what they're supposed to do, and we understand what we're supposed to do, then that's the right balance. And so that's why we said that, and we live that way. We try our best. We're humans, now we're not perfect. But if you tell yourself you're not perfect, you're never gonna be perfect. You have to try to be perfect. And then when you continue to tell yourself that no matter what you're going to be, but you don't dwell on it because it can drive you crazy too, if you try to be too perfect. But just at least keep it in your head and try to keep a divine energy. Once you feel a divine energy, you feel this tingle in your chest, that divine. So that is what we want to do. So when we go on stage, we can spread it. So I mean, Bob Marley said you have to really be born one. So when you grow up and then later on you become a Rasta, that means it was already in you. So because some people are born a certain way and already have the aura. You know, you ever see some kid walking here like, man, I don't know what, but they have a vibe. They just have this Rasta vibe and they don't even know. And these are the things. And sometimes you have to go through things in life. You have to go through a lot of things. And then you become a Rasta and you're like, now you could teach people because you went through so many things. You know, so it's different.
Well, I think that's a great place to end things, guys. I cannot
Yeah.
wait for
Yes.
the show tonight. I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
Please, you have to wait.
Of course, yes,
I know I'll see you there.
of course. I'll be front row.
We'll see the plumes of smoke.
I'm sure.
Especially from the Wailers. A
Yes.
guitar pick, especially from the Wailers.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Oh.
And you. We
Love.
love your brother, man.
Love.
Yeah, man. We thank you guys, and to see even the new generations and generations doing these things, and to understand that we're still keeping this music alive, because this music has no category. It's not old or new. It's just there. It's spiritual music to uplift everyone. So we love to see new generation doing this, and let's help to keep spreading it with what you guys are doing. We love you guys. Keep up the good work, and we're gonna go to the next level.
Yes, I love
Yeah,
that.
man.
I love that.
Big up yourself, man. One love.